26th, and we have received another email from the man who says he knows who Nancy Guthrie's kidnappers are and can lead the FBI to those kidnappers for 1 Bitcoin.
There are several breaking updates in the search for Nancy Guthrie today. TMZ's Harvey Levin getting a new email from the person who claims he knows the identities of Nancy's abductors.
So in case you didn't know, we woke up this morning and TMZ, yes, TMZ, receives yet another note. This time, TMZ is actually giving us more details about this note. Why are so many details coming out about the notes right now? And why send a new note right now? And I'm also going to tell you about the Bitcoin, because they're asking for Bitcoin again. I'm going to show you exactly how some people can get away with receiving Bitcoin without it being traceable. So if you want to see, stay tuned, Fugitive TV. Welcome to Fugitive TV, and I am your host, Ray Marcel, and we take a look at cases, anything true crime, missing individuals, any case that might need a different look or a different point of view. Because I was once on the run myself for 15 years, living in different countries under different names. Then I turned myself in. So I'm able to use my knowledge and my experience of what I did and how I was able to vanish towards these cases and give insight and a different point of view that some others can't. Well, Nancy Guthrie, and we all know who Nancy Guthrie is, especially if you clicked on the video or if you've been following me. TMZ today has reported that they received another note. Yes, TMZ, another note. We're all wondering why they're sending them to TMZ. Some people are wondering if these notes are real. Some people are wondering if these notes are false, fake, if TMZ might be even writing them themselves. There's so many questions with these notes. Well, we do know that the first note, they are now telling us more details. They're saying the very first note was addressed to Savannah. So that right there lets us know this was no accident. This was no coincidence that they went to Nancy's house. This lets us know that if that note is true, that they did this on purpose, probably because of Savannah. We don't know. I can only speculate, right? And this is even if the note is true, because a lot of people are wondering if Nancy was even really taken in the first place. There's a lot of open airness, a lot of questions that aren't being answered, and I do not blame people whatsoever. Well, from that first note, we do know that it was addressed to Savannah. We also know there was more than one person, which from day one, I said it was more than one person. You don't go kidnap somebody at one person. Stuff doesn't happen that way. I don't care what it doesn't happen that way. Unless you went out there and you've done kidnapping yourself or you've known people who kidnap people. It doesn't happen just with one person. You need multiple people usually to pull off what they did, especially if you caught my last live where I break down exactly what they would have done, all the way to the intel they would have needed, down to the type of skill sets they would have needed. And I have a part 2 of that video coming soon. So if you want to check out my last live video where I did a live, because I did it live in front of everybody, that's exactly what I did. Well, in one of the notes, they also say we. So when they say we know that's multiple people. That's not just one. So that right there verifies allegedly that is more than one person. Now that once again, that's if these notes are real. Then the note also explains, well, not the new note, but I'm talking about the older notes because there was multiple notes sent in. So the first ransom note is addressed to Savannah and it's asking for about $4 million. And if you don't have $4 million by a certain time, they're saying they're going to terminate, delete Nancy. Okay. And then another ransom note, or I should say a note, comes in about a day or two later explaining that Nancy is no longer here. She's buried with nature. Just weird verbiage that she's perished. I don't even know how to even spell perish, guys. I've never used or written down that word once. I'm perished.
The note was the second of two that investigators believe were sent by the same person in the days following Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, February 1st. Sources tell CBS News the first note was written directly to Savannah, reading in part, "Hello, Savannah. We have your mother, Nancy." The message included a ransom demand and described the exact location of Nancy's Apple Watch inside her bedroom, a detail investigators never made public.
So it was just some odd language. So a lot of people are now speculating who even wrote the note. Was it AI? I think it possibly was AI. The way it was written, I think it was AI. I think what they did was they possibly used one of the AI programs, but they didn't give the AI program a personality. So for example, I don't know if you guys use AI or you know this. You can go into AI, even ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever you use. I use AI every day. You can go into AI and you can program it. You can tell it that, hey, I would like for you to speak in how, let's say, the verbiage or how Eddie Murphy would talk. Now AI is going to talk to you or write something in what it thinks Eddie Murphy would talk. So you get what I'm trying to say? Or you can be the opposite. You can be like somebody serious, Stephen King, Spielberg, with a bunch of details. You can actually prompt AI easily to do these things. So I'm wondering that they just program an AI and there was just no prompt. But I will let you know this. Whoever was on the front porch that night from the video did not write the letter. No. So these are separate people that are doing this. Now, TMZ received a new note today. Now, in this note, which makes this funny and odd, is that they have been watching TMZ and I guess watching everything. So they've been watching people say that they think a female might have wrote the note. They mention that. Now, they do put the Bitcoin address, but they say that Bitcoin no longer works, guys. So what they do is they put a new Bitcoin address.
So he says in this email that he is not, as he puts it, I am not the idiot who recently called in a tip about her burial site in Mexico. He goes on to say only two are directly involved, and I doubt they would be the ones calling to snitch on themselves. So he has said to us before that there were multiple kidnappers and there was a main kidnapper, but definitely plural kidnappers. He has said that before. In this email, which, by the way, we have sent to the FBI, he says that he has video. He has video of Nancy Guthrie with the main kidnapper on what probably would be the last day of her life. That's the way he puts it here. He says, while what it contains is my definition of delivering it on a silver platter, a short video of the main guy with Nancy the day that was probably her last.
Now, here's the thing that I need to have cleared up that I don't think some people have realized. You have the first two ransom notes that came out, right? The first note's addressed to Savannah. Then you have the next note saying, hey, sorry, she's buried in nature. Then after that, TMZ was receiving notes saying, hey, Nancy's buried in Sonora, Mexico, or she was last seen in Sonora, Mexico. I know who took her. And remember, they were getting those notes. And if you give me one Bitcoin, then, or even half a Bitcoin, I will show you and then you can give me the rest later. Now, what they're not clarifying is this, which I would be interested to know. The Bitcoin address that's being sent, is it the exact same Bitcoin address that's on the first original two ransom notes? Because if it's the same Bitcoin address, then that means this is the same person that's been writing this the whole time. Or is it two different Bitcoin addresses, meaning the first two original ransom notes, which they're saying is possibly real, that Savannah and her family responded to, versus the notes that were sent to TMZ saying, hey, give us half a Bitcoin. I know information and I can lead you to the light. So are those two different ransom notes? I don't think I remember hearing a clarification on that. You guys let me know below if you remember everything Harvey has said in these ransom notes, and if he has actually said, because I might have overmissed that the Bitcoin from the address from the first two is the exact same Bitcoin address from the later notes. That's what I'm trying to wonder. Because in a new note, it gives a Bitcoin address, but then it says that one no longer works. Here's a new Bitcoin address. Okay. Then they go on to mock, allegedly, whoever sent in that anonymous tip into Mexico. And it says, I'm not the idiot who recently called in a tip about her burial site in Mexico. He claims there are 2 kidnappers. So he's saying that he's not the one who sent the anonymous tip into Mexico. And then he goes on to say that he highly doubts the kidnappers did that. So my question would be, how do you know? First of all, how do you know? That's one. Okay. Then in the new note, he claims to have, or they, him, her, whoever it is, they claim to have video of Nancy Guthrie with the main kidnapper on the last day she was alive. And it's on a phone. So if this is true, how did they get the video? If they weren't sent this video, that means this person writing this, if this is true, they were part of it. That means they were there. Why are they even taking a video of Nancy? Now, was this video originally going to be sent into Savannah? Let's say like, oh yeah, we have your mother. Is that possibly why? And if that is the case, that even proves even more to my point that this person was involved, because they're not going to send this video just out to people. You're going to take the video with your phone, if that's what you're going to do, and then send it out to where you have to send it out to make sure Savannah sees it. So is this the type of video he's talking about? I wish there would be more clarification. Now, there could be more, but maybe TMZ is not telling us everything. I don't know.
He also says that he has names, addresses, phone numbers of the kidnappers. Now, he says he has that video in a phone, and the phone is turned off. It is in a secure, secret location, but a location easy to find if you know where to look.
I firmly believe that if this is real, this is because of the person that's involved. Now, is it real? A lot of people are starting to wonder if this is even real in the first place. Now, I said in the beginning of the video, why are all these details coming out now? Think about it. All these Nancy Guthrie, it all went silent for a while. Now we're getting hit back to back with information every day. Makes me wonder, what are we getting deflected from? Oh, let's hit them with this so they read about this. Just makes me wonder, what are we getting distracted from over here? What's really going on? And they're just giving us these details because now all these notes are starting to come back. And I want to know who even leaked the information to the note in the first place. Who leaked it? Why is nobody asking this question? Who officially leaked the information to these notes in the first place? I would like to know because I think that matters. Pima County release it? Did FBI release it? Was it just someone that saw the note that worked at one of these news stations? They're like, F it, I'm just going to release it. Who leaked it? I think that matters. Now, they say they have a phone stash in a secure location, guaranteeing both the information it stores and the safety of the phone. He goes on to say, what it contains is my definition of delivering them on a silver platter, which he used before, or they. A short video of the main guy with Nancy the day that probably was her last, pictures of both involved, names, addresses, and age. So that's a lot of information to have, which makes me to believe this person would some way have to be involved. Now, Harvey from TMZ does say at the end of his video, which I agree, if you're right and you're not lying, why don't you send us some sort of a snapshot, some sort of a screenshot, which is what the person should have did in the first place to let people know, like, hey, I'm not lying. Look at this little bit right here. Oh, okay, yeah, you're not lying. Now let's take you seriously. But you also have to think about if he really, or she, whoever it is, if they really are involved, they're trying to save their own behind and not get in trouble. Well, if you send them a Bitcoin, right? And let's say they either send you the evidence, or even if they don't, if it's a scammer, is there a way for whoever sends them the Bitcoin to get their money back? Is there a way for this guy to receive Bitcoin, or these people, and really stay anonymous? As in, nobody can trace them. Let me show you something. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to break out your notepads and get your pens and your pencils, because now class is in session. You might learn something right now, all right? When it comes to Bitcoin, and when it comes to staying anonymous, when it comes to not staying anonymous, and not only that, possibly how it could be non-traceable and how it can be traceable, okay? Because when I was on the run, I went on the run, what was it, 2006-ish? That was around the time Bitcoin was coming up, okay? So guess who was using Bitcoin? Me, guys. I was using Bitcoin because it was easy to get Bitcoin transactions and use in different countries instead of trying to, because you don't have a Bank of America in every country, right? You don't have a Wells Fargo in every country. So it was easy just to do Bitcoin, all right? And not only that, at the time, it wasn't catching on as much. Bitcoin was used mostly around that time, believe it or not, in the dark web world. So people were using that to go in the dark web and hire hitmen, hire drugs, buy weapons. A lot of Bitcoin activity was going on at that time because of that, all right? Well, when you go into Bitcoin, I'm going to try to explain this real easy, like we're in junior high, all right? So that way, when you hear people talk about Bitcoin and you hear them talking about if it be traceable, you can look at it and be like, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. Or maybe you do know what you're talking about. Or, you know, you just have a better knowledge or understanding of it right now. So I brought up some of this stuff before, but I never really got into true detail of certain things about it. Now, Bitcoin, you have to open up a wallet is what it's called. Now, it's not a physical wallet. It's a digital wallet, all right? The digital wallet is going to hold all your crypto coins or cryptocurrency. So you have more than just Bitcoin out there. You have Bitcoin, you have HTC, there's hundreds of thousands of cryptocurrency that is just like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just the most popular one and is the most expensive one. Right now, last I checked, it was around $60,000 per a Bitcoin. Last year it shot up even to over $100,000. So it goes up and down every second of the day, just like a stock. Well, when you open up a wallet, you get two choices to open up a wallet, people. This is one thing that these people aren't explaining to you. You can choose to open up a wallet, non-custodial or custodial. Now, the difference is this. If you open it up non-custodial, that means you can sign up on any one of these apps with a wallet and pretty much be anonymous, guys. You don't have to show no ID. You don't have to give no secure address. You don't have to give a lot of secure anything. They don't check. Excuse me. Some of these things you can even open up and give the last four of a social security number, and it don't even have to be your social security number, okay? I'm just saying. Phone number doesn't have to be yours. That's non-custodial. So you can rename or remain anonymous. Then you have custodial. Custodial is the one you open up where you have to give your information. A lot of businesses use this. So you have to give a EIN, which is a business's social security number, or you have to give your social security number. You have to give information, and then sometimes they have to verify it, and then it comes back within 2 or 3 days. Now you're able to make transactions of buying Bitcoin on what is called the blockchain, which I'm going to explain that and show you the blockchain. So you get it? You have non-custodial, which is anonymous. Then you have custodial, which is non-anonymous. So if you're a criminal, which one you think you're going to go with? Custodial, non-anonymous. Now, this is how it works. And I want to show you this in real time so you actually can see. Now, I've showed this before and I explained it, but I'm explaining a little better for you. So this right here is called the blockchain, okay? Now, you look right here, you see you have prices and market cap. You see you have Bitcoin, the very first one, okay? Bitcoin right now is at $59,821. So if you send somebody a Bitcoin, okay, or you purchase a Bitcoin, you got to spend 60 grand, a little more than that, because sometimes some of these apps will charge fees. And then after you spend your 60 grand or plus, then you can send them the whole Bitcoin. Then you have ETH, which is Ethereum, BNB, which is BNB, XRP, Solana, Tron, and it goes on. These are just a few, okay, of cryptocurrencies that you can buy. Now on this side, right here where it says latest transactions, you see these numbers are speeding. You see how fast those numbers are going, guys? That is real time. Real time. Around the world, every transaction that's happening right now in real time. Let's go to it. So every transaction right here is happening in real time. These are live transactions. So what you're able to do is you're able to click on one and see how it says Bitcoin transaction. All right. Then you're going to see a bunch of numbers. Looks like it pretty much looks like, I always explain it like it's the Matrix. You're looking at the Matrix. You don't know even what you're looking at, right? Now, you look down here at the bottom, it's going to give you from and then to. Okay, so from and to. So let's kick on from. This right here is their Bitcoin address. Right here, Bitcoin address. As you see, it's got multiple letters, numbers. It looks like a random just letters and numbers, right? This is the person, whoever this person is. You can even see what's in their wallet. Right now in their wallet, they have in Bitcoin $6,015. Okay. So sorry, this is what they received. They received $6,015. All right. Then it shows they sent $6,015. So they received 6,000 and then they sent the 6,000. All right. And then you can look down here and you can see from and to, where exactly it's from or where exactly it's to. So you can see their whole transaction history from the beginning of time, guys. This does never go away. But here's the issue. You don't see a name. You don't see a phone number. You don't see a not a nothing. All you have is these random numbers. Now you could take these numbers all you want, try and put them in Google or something. Oh, maybe your name will pop up. You can try and do whatever you want. All right. But it's not going to tell you exactly who it is. Right here it says, is a native SegWit Beck BECH 32 Bitcoin address used to receive, send, and store funds on the Bitcoin network. And that's all you're going to get. It's not going to tell you the name. It's not going to tell you who. It ain't going to tell you, like I said, any of this. All right. Even when you try and search it. Now you might be asking, okay, well, how does FBI law enforcement search it then? So if we send this person to 1 Bitcoin, okay, how can they trace it if you don't see any of this? Now that I kind of showed you, you hopefully got a little bit of a basic understanding of the Bitcoin address, how it works, blockchain, how it works, and how people can remain anonymous. Now, here's the part. You can remain anonymous through this whole thing. So you can do all the transactions of Bitcoins you want. You can receive Bitcoin. You can send Bitcoin. You could do whatever you want, and it's going to remain anonymous. But here's the issue. How do you use the Bitcoin? Now, you can either give it to somebody else if you want to buy something for somebody and they, hey, I'll take a Bitcoin. That's possible. Some people will take a Bitcoin. It all depends. But you can't physically go into a store. Most stores don't have access to, hey, I want to purchase this a Bitcoin. You can't buy a plane ticket with Bitcoin. Can't get gas with Bitcoin. You definitely can't pay your bills with Bitcoin. So how do you turn the Bitcoin into money? What you're going to do is you take your money that's in your Bitcoin address. Okay. So let's say the $6,000 right here is in your Bitcoin address. Now what you're going to do is you're going to hook up a bank account to the Bitcoin wallet. Okay. So you have a bank account hooked up to your wallet. Then what that does is now you're able to withdraw your Bitcoin or whatever cryptocurrency you have. Now it withdraws it in the cash value. Remember, I told you 1 Bitcoin is $59,000 right now. So now what it's going to do is it's pretty much going to send $59,000 to your bank account. Now you're not going to get the full 59 because they do take fees. All right. It all depends on what you get, but you're going to get underneath 59, but you're going to get at least 56, 57, whatever it is sent to your bank account. Okay. Now the issue is it goes to your bank account. Your bank account, you have to give your information. You have to give your name. You got to give driver's license. Sometimes they even do credit checks depending on your bank account. So now that is how law is able to track you. Now it's hard for them to track you when it's just like this. So as long as you have that Bitcoin in here and don't touch it, you're almost safe to go. But the issue goes is when you want to try and cash it out. You got to cash it out to an actual bank account. So how are you able to stay anonymous or not be traced, even if it goes to a bank account? Well, a few years ago, you used to be able to do certain things. So for example, you used to be able to cash out your cryptocurrency into other countries that, let's say, they kept your bank account information away from America. All right. Belize used to be one of those places. As of, I believe it was last year, not anymore. So Belize, you used to be able to go down there, or open up a bank account. Actually, you can even do it online, open up a bank account in Belize, and Belize would not share your information with the American authorities. But that all changed. Last year, Belize pretty much accepted money from America. In exchange, Belize have to share their bank account information with law or American government. Same thing, a lot of people will say a Swiss bank account, right? Swiss bank account will keep you private to a certain extent, yes, but law enforcement Interpol, all that good stuff, CIA, FBI, still can get it. Now, it might take them, it's not instantly. It might take them a few days, which you could be long gone if you know what you're doing. But they can still get it and figure out who you are or who that money was sent to and what bank account. Now, there is a thing called crypto tumbling or crypto mixing. This is one of the ways that people who are on the run, fugitives, criminal activity, whatever you want to call it, this is one method they use, okay, to distract and throw a monkey wrench in the whole system. So you have this right here. And don't worry, I'm going to explain this to you and break it down. What is a crypto mixer? A crypto mixer, also called a Bitcoin tumbler, Bitcoin mixer or mixing service, is a tool or protocol that obscures the transaction history of cryptocurrency by pulling funds from multiple users and redistributing them in ways that break the on-chain link between sender and recipient. The goal is to make it difficult to trace the origin or destination of funds using blockchains. Mixers operate across multiple blockchains, but are most commonly associated with Bitcoin, where the transparent transaction model makes fund flows particularly visible to analysts. By designing mixing servers, the direct connection between a deposit wallet address and a withdrawn one, returning equivalent funds minus a fee in a way that obscures everything. So let me break that down to you, okay? So there's many ways that this can work. So one way that this can work is I showed you the address. So you got these address or random letters and stuff like that, okay? They send you a Bitcoin. Now, there's ways that if you use certain mixers or tumblers, it could take that Bitcoin and let's say, break it all up. Money gets sent here to this address, sent here to this address, sent here to this address, sent to that address, sent to that address, sent to this address, sent to this address, back sent to this address, back sent to that address, back sent to that address. By the time you're done, you're looking at probably 50 to 100 different addresses, sometimes 1,000 different addresses that $60,000 was broken up into and just sent, distributed all over the place, all over these different addresses, okay? So people are so busy trying to look at all the different chains that this was sent to, that this was sent to, and this was sent to. By the time they even get to the cash out, you're not even around. You're not even there. You're gone. It takes a long time to figure. It's not instant because you saw how these addresses look. And if it breaks it up in fractions, just imagine breaking $60,000 up into $5 and $10 increments. Just imagine that. How many $5 and $10 increments would go into $60,000? And now was each increment of $10 is getting sent to 1,000 different addresses before it's sent to cash out. So just imagine how long that's going to take before they figure out who cashed this out. If you're smart, you're gone. Now, if you ask me, I don't know if these notes are real. I really don't know. I don't even know if this whole thing is real. This is so odd. But these people are smart enough to send these notes and not have the IP address tracked. They're probably sending it into TMZ's tip mail. TMZ has a tip email where you go into TMZ.com and you can send in these tip emails. You don't have to you can put in a fake email address, whatever it is, and send it in. Now, I don't know if their system can track your IP address of even sending a tip mail, but there are ways to use VIPs, block your address, make it look like you're in Swiss somewhere. There are ways for that. There's also email addresses you can open up that are just for that reason. So if they're smart enough to do that and they're asking for a Bitcoin, I'm pretty sure they're smart enough on how to withdraw the Bitcoin and not get caught. Now, the Bitcoin is such a small amount. We're talking about $60,000 this person is asking for. So this makes me to think about why it's so small. Two reasons. And the two reasons are, reason one, is it because $60,000 in the country they live in is a lot of money? Is that the reason? So $60,000 converted into Mexican pesos, $1,050,000 is pretty much what it is. Okay. So you can turn $60,000 into $1 million if you're in Mexico. It would make sense. $1 million in pesos can last you a while, all through South America. So it would make sense, right? But here's the other thing. Do they plan on just holding on to the crypto? Or is this money they owe somebody else? And they're going to pay whoever they owe that same cryptocurrency. Meaning they're not going to get caught. You send this person one Bitcoin for $60,000. Let's say they owe somebody else some money. Here, I'll send you the Bitcoin for $60,000. Now, that person that we just paid, they send them that. That person we just paid, we're never going to catch them. They never cashed it out, people. All we have is the address. So they sent it to the person they owe the money to. But I figure I'd give you that little tidbit. Now, is this information real? Like I said, I don't know. I did a live last night. The live went great. Okay. And if you haven't seen it, go check it out. There's a veteran who joined my live who was part of the Signal Corps, and he explained a lot of things that the suspects were able to do, a lot of signals that they were able to, let's say, penetrate, block, duck, whatever you want to call it, that it's almost like only military grade professionals know how to do, or the equipment they had to use. So he was explaining that, which it connected and aligned with when I was talking about the Iran connection. So I'm not done with that. I am actually doing some more deep diving into that to see exactly what I can find. Okay. And what kind of connections I can find. I already found a couple. So let's see what else that I can find. And I'm going to give it to you guys. And I'm actually going to be careful how I give it to you guys, because we all know last time my YouTube video was taken down a day or 2 days later, whatever it was. So this time I think I know how to do it. Well, please comment below. What do you think about everything I just told you today? What do you think about the notes? Do you think they're even real? This last note, do you think it's real? Do you think it's a facade? Do you think Porch Guy was a facade? It was staged. It's there for us to look at him and something else is really going on. Did Nancy even really make it home? Is she underground somewhere? What is going on with all this information that we are getting right now? Okay, is it a coincidence that right after Nancy disappeared, we attacked Iran, went into Mexico, Epstein files dropped, all kind of things just happened. A general went missing scientists. It was all just bam in front of our face. So let me know below, okay? Because I plan on getting into, at least trying to get into the bottom of this. So stay tuned. Join the membership. It helps support the channel. Support any way you can, so that way I can keep this channel alive and I can do this full time for you guys. Thank you so much. Please take care of one another. Watch your surroundings. Love one another. Until next time, this is Fugitive TV, and I'm out.